Good afternoon, students. Today we will see the remaining topics in the Internet Cloud Resource Management. The first one here is the virtual machine creation and management. In this topic, we will learn about the several things we need to consider when we are designing or when we are dealing with a cloud infrastructure. And also we need to consider how these third-party applications will be running and what are the things we will consider while they're running, and what is the importance of the virtual machine templates, and what is the task has been considered for these virtual machine managers, and how we are going to manage these distributed virtual machines what we are having. In that things we are have one example also to take in count that how these grids will be processed. And coming to the next topic, that is a global exchange for the cloud resources. Here we will see the cloud inter-cloud exchange of the cloud resources without any representations, without installing anything. Through brokering they are doing that thing. And also we will see how they are processing through these things. The loading results using different gateway will be presented. So coming to the first one, virtual machine creation and management. So here coming to the first instance or the first specification here is, we need to specify the interaction between the virtual managers for the cloud creation and the management. So that's why what it has to do is nothing but the manager has to provide a public API for the users to submit and control the virtual machines of them. So apart from this, what they are doing is they need to consider the independent service management. If there are third-party applications are there, it has to be run on that one. And also we have to know the vertical, that is a virtual machine manager also. Here we need to specify how they are going to execute or how they are to go. Here is, we are providing an interaction between these virtual managers because we need to create the cloud and also we need to manage that also. The manager has to provide these APIs as I said. How it is going to done here is, we are taking an example here is for the EC2, that is a Amazon Celestic Compute Cloud. Here first the representation is we are creating a temporary directory by using, here we are presenting a methods submit and shutdown. If you see here VM instance, how we are going to create the instance here is VM is equals to virtual machine instance, VM is equals to VMM S, and then next dot submit. We have to take these templates and comma host into the consideration. Before without considering the host or anything, what they have to do, they are not possibly to take care of anything here, because first we need to create a virtual machine. For that virtual machine we need to specify what is the template of that one. So what could be a template here? So here the template here is the template has to provide the information about the number of cores or the processors to be assigned to this virtual machine, the amount of the memory this virtual machine requires, the kernel used to boot these virtual operating system. That's why our virtual machine operating system has to be known. The disk image, the what it is, the virtual machine file system has to be known, and also these price per hour. You are using a virtual machine, and what you have to do, you have to consider price per hour has to be specified there also. And apart from these, we need to take the address of the physical machines hosting these virtual machines, and the virtual machines network configuration, and also the information which is required for deploying on these IaaS providers. These the things has to be considered into this template form. Means the template virtual machine template will must consist of this thing, and where we want to create these things has to be specified here, the host. So then when you are submitting this that is instruction or this particular part of the piece of code, then the virtual manager will have take the public API, and through the interface it will provide the access to the, or it will create the access to these virtual machine instance. And also it is allowing the template directory also. The template directory here is, yeah, I said how many cores and then how many processors it's using, what is the memory space, and also what is an operating system. This is the main thing. So here Ubuntu is the main operating system we are using, and we are providing one core only, and it using the things that is a megabytes per the second. So 128 megabytes. And also what it is specifying here is the Fedora open source. So here these are the different types of the templates you are having. The template here is simply giving the information. So the information has been it is separated by using semicolon here, and we are providing different memory spaces also, and it is providing the network spaces and also giving how many cores it is enacting here. So that is the template directory. Whenever you are having the template, when you are providing the VM template, and it has to take us from the template directory, and it will take, okay, it has been processed or not. So here what it is doing is it is providing an information to access you to create the virtual machine environment here. So how we are going to create a virtual machine here is we need to take the VM instance as a VM, and then we need to call up the method called the submit by using an object VMMS, and then next to this object will call this method by using the template and the host. Whenever you are having a template and the host, the template will be that is get on into this template directory, and also you will be assigned to the host. And also what are the virtual machines environment you are having, and it is processing will be given here. Open Nebula, and the next is emulators, Gateploy, all these things will come into an account. If you are done, means if your work is done, what you have to do is nothing but you need to shut down your instance thing. For that thing, what you have to do is nothing but we simply call the method called the VM instance dot shutdown. So whatever the instances you have been created by using this VM will be shut down there itself only. This information has to given to this manager. They will process these things and then shut down the system, and no longer you will able to access the things here. So this is the physical infrastructure what you are using, that is a servers or the disk or any sensors or any type of representations has been used here, and it has the ability to access these things, that is Amazon EC2, which is having the, we have created the virtual machines also. And there itself we are providing a grid architecture which is having some that is connected nodes will be there. So how it is connected, why we are using this type of the representation here is that is an integrated test bed. It is over the French grid 5000 located in 9 cities across the France. So if you consider there are the 9 dots are there, if you specify there are 9 representations are given, one has been specified with these things. So what it is doing is it is using these things. So here there is also what they where from where they are intersected also specified as a dot mark here. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, this is the representation of the France. So there we are using 9 cities which are specified, or which are having the different what do you call gateways for connecting that one, and also uses many codes to process and provides the data processing using this one. So here what it is doing here in this representations will be discussed later in the coming diagrams. So apart from this, what I said that when you are creating a virtual machine, we need to think of the several things here. These are the 5 things we need to consider. First one is the independent service management. What this will request is we need to take that is isolation has to be given to that people here. Means not all the things, not all the services, not all the things has to be depends upon the main server or any cloud provider. So we need to provide the isolation for them, and we need to give them to execute all these things into a manner. So for these things, Amazon is providing that is SQS. So what is the SQS? Simple queue service. So this simple queue service has been given the communication between the different providers also. By using this service, if you want to connect to this any providers also, it is allowing, and also it is providing the endpoint for the thing, that is any messages. Means in the previous example shown how these SQS will run. So many EC2s are connected. In the for one EC2 is not connected or not available at a particular time, means at this particular time, what the SQS will do here is it will take the information, that is it will have the messages, or it will have the information from me, and it will wait for the other person to be come online, or to be that is to process, After that only what it will do is it will deliver the messages here. So likewise, what is a simple exam here is if you are sending the messages to your friend. So if you are sending the messages to friend means it's not like that. It will store this information into the server and later on it will deliver these messages like that. Not like that at all. So it has been sent to your person. The person whom you send want to chit chat or anything has been sent to that person, delivered to that person, not the sent to that person. Whenever the person is available, then only you will see the deliver message. So that's why it is having some tick marks here. So whenever you are getting one tick mark means it has been delivered to that person. That person is available or not, that will be presented in the two tick marks here. After that, it will be connected to converted to the blue. Means what it is representing, the person has been seen. So that means there has been read that message, or they have the information what you send there. Means what this type of the things, it's not a there is security or the oriented one. Why? Because we won't know that the person is available or not. We are sending the messages. We are sending the messages. What they are doing, they are storing these things on that user space only. What this SQS is doing is it is not allowing the person to store these messages on the user end. So here it is taking one endpoint. What the endpoint will do is it will look after for the person, or it will look after for the thing what you are communicating with it. If this one is available now, then only it will have the access to the delivering the messages to them. If it is not, if he or the person or any that his device is not available, what they will do, it is simply they will wait for the person to be available. Up until now what they will do, they won't make us to wait for that time. What it is doing is it is taking all the messages from us and keeping these messages with it, that is SQS, and then it is allowing to take the access of this thing to be passed from them, that is from SQS to the that is destination. Why? Because here is the destination, maybe it is a they won't be available. Somebody will take a look after all these things. That is one type of the security mechanism we are taking into the consideration. And also it is providing the data services and also some storage services, computation services too. When coming to these third party applications here, so third party applications means here we are running or we are using a cloud platform. So what it has to do is nothing but it has to provide a environment which is supported for these developers to build their applications which are by third party application providers. So or the programmers means me. So here I have to access these applications, and I need to take those applications to be constructed by me based on the methods or based on the programs designed by me. So if we are doing this type of the representation, what the platform has to do is nothing but they need to provide an environment that is the Web 2.0 forms. So by using this environment, what it is doing is it is taking these applications to be interactive with these that is developers which are using with the Ajax here. So if they want to provide any programming interfaces, they want to take any additional ones, any functions to run on these libraries, or they want to provide any form of the services which are supportive for these web service application engines, what these cloud platforms has to do is nothing but they need to provide these things to be available when they are dealing with these people. So for that, what they have to do is nothing but the web browsers must have the user interface for any end users. Means they won't allow the persons like that. It's not been encourageable or appreciable one. What they have to do, they need to provide the user interface here. Along with this thing, what I have to do is nothing but we need to have the extra capabilities of accessing backend services also, or we may say the data which is underlying there or in the infrastructure. So to take this coming to an account, what we will do, we will take gateway applications coming to an account. So if we consider the examples like Google's App Engine and then Microsoft Azure, what they will do is they will have their own cloud APIs to get their special cloud services to be available with the users. Means simply we are getting only the application and accessing the application and executing all these things, not the thing. What they will do is they will have the backend services will be there. The backend services has to be, means if any user wants to access these backend services, they are making available through these cloud APIs. That is through interfaces they are providing. Likewise, GAE and Azure VM, that is WebSphere. The WebSphere application is also being deployed on the IBM Blue Cloud. It is used for developing any kind of the web application which has been written in Java. And also we are having the EC2. You see this EC2, that is Amazon's Elastic Compute Cloud. What also doing it is making the users can use any kind of the applications engine which can run on the VM instances we are using. Means VM instances means they have the many platforms here, they have the many environments to that. What it is EC2 doing is it is making this applications to be run on the template on that instance, and making the user to be flexible to access these things. Well, coming to the virtual machine manager, so what this manager will do here is basically this manager will act as an interface or a link between the gateway and the resources. So when you are connecting to the cloud, what you have to do is nothing but we need to pass through a gateway here, and we need to access the resources what we are present in the cloud here. So that's why the VM manager has to be acts as a link between these gateway and the resources here. So what this gateway will have what it is capable, or what it have the privileges here is they will use these virtual technologies, and then they will make these resources to be available with the users, but these managers won't have the capability or doesn't share these physical resources directly. What they will do here, managers has to take these what are the physical resources available with the cloud, and what the user is wishing, all these things has to be, the information has to be processed with these virtual machines. The cloud provider has to give these things, that means the privileges to this manager to available these, means the physical resources which are available has to be managed or deployed by these physical that is managers here, but they are not have any direct privilege of accessing the physical resources which are connected here. But also if any implementation has been done, what they have to do is nothing but this VM managers has to connect these implementations environment to with virtual infrastructure environment here, or virtual environment which is used for the development here. So if you want to execute any any program or any thing on the different environment, or you want to implement anything, what we use here is a VIE. What this VIE will have here is we have the OpenNebula, EC2, and then is FrenchGrid 5000. All these things will come into an account when it is having to run these programs. How it is running here? So if we consider OpenNebula, what it is doing is it is having the daemon service here. If you remember the things which are discussed in the previous session, so we are having a daemon service which acts as a new that is a master node. When you want to execute or anything, when you want to migrate or when you want to do any processing on that one, so no pressurizing or no additional works will be done by these managers here. What has to do here is we take these daemon service to be available, and these things will look after all these things. So here the main thing here is the daemon service will look after the processings we are having, and they will decide what the things has to be processed, any migration has been done, any crash has been done, any component is not working, the daemon service will look after all these things. Then what is the work of the that is manager we are having is, this manager will works as a remote user. What it is doing here is it is taking the virtual machines to be available with the many users, and it's looking after the resources to be available with the one. So by making this type of representation, this daemon service is of this hypervisor to looking after all these things, means all the looking after all the virtual machines which has been connected to these OpenNebula environment has been decreased by using the daemon service. So it also what it is doing, the manager has the another another working environment, that is they have to manage all the deployments which are given on the grids on these infrastructure as a service providers also. And also it has to support the intergrid support, and also all these things need to come into an account when we need to take this one. So now, and these virtual machines managers main work is also they need to know what is the virtual machine it is having. So the virtual machine is means the manager needs to use its template here. Means what is the template of your mission has to be considered when you are dealing with a virtual machine. So this virtual machine template will consist of a static information which has been not the dynamic here. So why it is static means when you are representing a mission or an environment as in virtual, then we need to represent them. That is what is this one means, what the virtual machine template will consist of means, likewise I said the number of cores or the processors which are used for this virtual machine, and then next the amount of the memory for these virtual machine requires, and also these the kernel usage means what is the virtual machine's operating system, and also it has to take care of these file system of your virtual machine, and the price, address, and the next network configuration, deployment information. All these things will come into an account when you are dealing with this mission templates. You have to remember these things into an account when you are having the processing of means, for example, so I think you forgot that thing, no? So that's why I'm showing again what is a virtual machine or the virtual box will represent of. Means we need to consider virtual machine. So the virtual machine here is specified as what you are looking for. Means this is a one type of the virtual machine we are using. So what the virtual machine I am using here, Oracle VM Virtual Box Manager I am using. So I need to know how many virtual machines can be managed by this thing. Means how I am going to access this one means in the desktop I will have the virtual Oracle Virtual Box environment will be there. By double clicking on that one, it will open this thing. So what I have to do here, I have to select means this among these things means how many are there? Seven different environments are there. So this 7 environments will means will be available with me. Means if you want to run many environments also it is available. How many environments are running? There are 3 environments are running here. So this is the template one. This one is the template here. So what is the template here means? Simply means you are not considering this thing. Means how it is specified or how it is doing here is for example, you are taking these things to be available like this. For example, means for example, this is not available with you. So if it is not available with you, what I have selected. So what I have selected is not available with you. What you will do, you won't know that what is these systems are representing. We have the preview, that's all. So what the preview, it is not giving any information of that one or any, if a preview means if it is giving any information that one, okay. What your system will look like will be represented here, and what does means, what you are having, that is documents or any whatever the files you are having on the desktop has been shown to you, but it is what the environment it is supporting is not can be known to a person if he is looking this screen here. That is where I pointed this type of the, if he is looking on the screen, then he won't be available to know that what is this thing is representing. If it is like that, one guest environment is there like that, that's all, and it is giving some execution environment which is in the command prompt, that's all. So what is this environment and what it is supporting? Means when I will come to know, means when I am getting to that environment, when I am using that environment, that is supporting what. So I don't want to all these things into account. What I have to do is nothing but I should know what are the systems are running, or what are the systems it is having. So first it is having the 7 systems. Among that one, consider this one. So what it is supporting? It is supporting the Linux environment. How come we came to know that is it is having the Ubuntu environment here? The Ubuntu means it is supporting the Linux based environment. And how many bits it is supporting? 64 bits, where it has been setting as storing its locations. So here in the users, there is a source in that virtual box. In that virtual box, That is a Ubuntu 18.4. What is the you are using? 8.04 is using. So that's why it is represented here. And coming to the another information, what I told you, that is what is the operating system we are using. Whenever we are looking about the Ubuntu, you will come to know that is a Linux based operating system we are using. And what is the memory space? So this is about the system information. So what is the general information here is the name, operating system, what are the file locations been used, means you will come to know that I am accessing this information or I am accessing this one and I want to execute all these things here. So I am executing means where my information will be stored. You will have that down. The setting locations, the file locations has to be given to you. There is a file system where you are storing, or the directory structure what you are using will be specified. So coming to that general, that will be means only for the general usage you will give the information. And system use. System use means the hardware representations or anything, any representations what you have to consider here has to be specified. So here we are using memory space, how much? 4096 MB space will be used by this one. So this amount of the service, this amount of the memory space is being used by other things, means not like that. The other things are using double of that one. Double of that one is being used by these Win 2000X server, their 2016 server, and also Oracle Linux X, Linux 7 representation. And also what is the booting system we are using? There is a boot order. We are having the hard disk, and then next optical, and the next floppy is represented. What is the acceleration? Acceleration means here what is the virtualizations we are following, and what is the type of the virtualization it is supporting, what is the paging techniques it is supporting is being given. So if you see that is VTX. VTX means it is having the X means execution mode. It is having the execution mode here. The virtual environment what you are providing is having the execution permissions also. And also we are having the nested paging for all. And the virtualization what it is supporting is, it is a KVM para virtualization is supported by the Ubuntu, and then Windows 2016 server is supporting some NX server processing, and also it is having some that is Oracle Linux 7 is supporting both NX and then KVM para virtualization, like that. So before coming to this one, so simply you are going to environment and you are accessing this one, it's not the possible one. What you have to do here, we need to create an environment. How we are going to create an environment here is by using the instructions. You are going to create VM instance space VM is equals to vmms dot submit of VM template comma host. You will give that thing. So that is on the cloud side. If you are using on your system, on your own system, this is an example on your own system. Then what you have to do is nothing but won't execute all these things there onto your system. What you will do, you will call up these virtual machines with create a virtual machine. So these are the things all has been discussed earlier also. What you will do, you will create a virtual machine. How it is create, how it is going to create, how it is getting all these names. The name is Ubuntu 18.04. Memory is this one. Booting order is this one. What is the virtualization? All these things. Well, how it is not has been given dynamically, or it is not deciding. That operating system is not deciding. We have to decide while creating operating system. It will ask for the name your virtual machine. You will give one name. Okay. After that, what is the space you want to give for this virtual machine to be used for the further. So then you will decide what this will be the message thing to be given for that one to be used, and where you want to store these file information. All these things will be given by you, by us only, while creating a virtual environment on your own system by using this virtual box. So if we are dealing with these cloud environment, virtual machine creation or the management, there is a need of these things, that is specifying all these things on using code, simple code representations here. After that, what you will do, you will stop that one. You will stop the virtual machines here. Here, how we are going to stop the virtual machines means we will come after these environment, and some of the things are represented as a powered off. If you see this representations, they are called as a power, because they are not using currently. Means they has been not been shut down, like that. They has been shut down. Whenever they have the possibility of the using, they will come into in the running state. Okay. So to come into the running state, we don't use any codes in our machine, in our laptop, or in our own system. What we are doing is we are simply double clicking on that one, or we are simply right clicking and run the virtual machine, like that we will give. So if you want to create any new, what you will do, you have to click on the new, then it will give the information what we have to provide to that system whenever we want to access in future. So if you don't want to give any information about that one, if it is not possible to use a virtual machine here, because if any virtual environment what you are providing, any environment which is not with you, we want to use that one, we need to provide that environment to be known for you. Known for you means you need to know what you want to access there. How I am going to know here? So I need to study about the important things here. So what could be the important things here means? So the name of this one, and then next how many cores it is supporting, memory space, and what is the booting order, and then next disk images here means what is the file system it is supporting. We are using the nested paging, and then next we say MD, all these things will come into an account when you are dealing with these virtual machines environment. So and also we are providing some different environment to accessing also. If you're coming for the distributed virtual machine environment, SEMA in the previous diagram you saw this representation. So if you remember, I told you 9 points will be there now. So this is the thing it is having. So elaboratedly it will look like that. So what it is representing for. So we need to know about the distributed virtual machine management. So here we are having some interactions between the grid components. Grid means a collection of things has to be considered. So how we are going to take into an account here is they have to be means a matrix structure, or you can use any type of the structures to be represented here. So how many representations has been here is we are having 650 here. 650 means we can take 10 rows. So 10 rows is specified. For each row we will have the 65 systems, means for each row means 65 columns are there. So then we are like this consider means one row or the one grid has been used here, like how many means is using 65 systems to be computed. Likewise it is representing. So how many sites we are having here? We are having 9 sites here. 9 sites means 9 different representations what we are using here. So what the things here is, we need to take a distributed virtual machine manager has to be considered here, because it has been using different things to be connected in a country here. So what you are doing is what the manager will do here in this environment. So the manager will make the request for virtual machines, and why he is taking these things into happen here is he wants to know about the what is called the status of these virtual machines. Are they running or not? What the things they are processing? All these things they has to be considered. Okay, when requesting all these things, the manager will use gateways to connect to that one. So what are the gateways we are using here is there are different gateways we are representing here. So if you see that Rennie's, Lily, Nancy, Leon, Grable, Tolzi, or the Bodex, Sophia, all these names are considered as the gateways here. So they will act as a gateways and processes all these things here. So whenever a manager has been requested for any virtual machine here, so the manager will obtain the list of the requested virtual machines from that gateway. So if you consider that is Sophia, in the Sophia we are having how many cores here, having 568 cores here. So in this 568 cores, how many virtual machines it is having will be given to that one. And also it is provide the information about network addresses and also the virtual machine instances has been used on these cores, the hold time, deadline, and the next day any alternate gateway is there to connect with that one. Why we are using this thing here is the alternate gateway here is where we use a local gateway also, which is trying to obtain the resources and also these informations from the underlying VIE. As I said, underlying data or the backend services will be useful whenever we are processing the data. This local gateway will make available all these things here. When we are not, it is not possible to get this data, what it has to do is nothing but it has to take these remote gateways help, and to fulfill this request, what it is doing is it is allowing the local gateway to take these process of accessing. What it is doing, how it is going to perform here is, whenever a gateway schedules this type of the request on these virtual machines, it has to send the virtual machine access information to the requested gateway. So finally the manager configures these virtual machines and sets the that is a secure shell SSH tunnels, and executes all these tasks on the virtual machines. If you are considering the peer policy, peer-to-peer policy is there, what it is doing is it has to take the backfilling of these scheduled requests also, and also process all these things to be available with us. If you want to stop these things has to done, means you want to access the local resources also, and you have know the capability of accessing local resources, then we need to take the redirection algorithm to be done. And what it is doing is it is allowing the persons to be done or to be processed by here. So if we go for these type of the representations here, that is this diagram, this particular diagram here. So this representation here is each gateway is represented as a grid site here. So here what we are doing is we are preventing these gateways to be interfere with the grid users, and also emulating these VM managers where implemented or to instantiate these VMs, because the gateways won't decide here, the managers has to decide these something to be processed here. So these hosts which are emulated has to be limited by the number of the cores on the each side. For example, you want to add the 500 elements, or sorry, 500 people or the 500 works on that one. How many cores it is having in the layout? It is having only 268, and you are adding 500 means how it is possible. One core means one process. One process will look after only one work what you are given by you. So how it is going to process or how it is going to take 500 means it has been not considered. So here how it is going to take into an account means the manager has to look after to whom I want to allocate all these things. For example, I want to take these 500 things to be available at the to process these things means I need to take the grid to be Nancy or say Renis or Lily or Kodiaks like that, and Sophia also. The remaining things will be having the number of cores which is less than my processing value. Then I don't have the ability of now means giving this one, because the requesting won't increase the number of the cores what it is processing here. It has been fixed, the static value is 268 and won't be allowed to take or to won't access, it won't allow to be allow these things to take these more than 268 here. If it is 268 then it will be easy for that one. If it is exceeding then there is no availability to process to available to give this thing, the means to be available for the other things. So here if it is not possible, what it has to do is nothing but we need to take load characteristics to be done here. So how it is going to take the load characteristics to be done means I want to access from the Lion only, because I have the resources at the Lion only, but I don't have the cores here. So how I am going to get the cores here is we are having in the next diagram, if you see, we are having the multiple representations here. In this multiple representations diagram, what you are seeing here is we are having the gateway scenarios as a 2 gateways, 3 gateways and 4 gateways. And what it is using here is it is using the IGG, that is a intergrid gateway. IGG is represented as a intergrid gateway. What it is doing, it is allowing the others to take the benefit of processing means distributed virtual environment from other gateways, and it is allowing to make those resources to be available with us, or the records will be available with us to execute the element or anything. How it is going to do here is it is not simply taking the codes to be available with us now. For example, Sophia and Orsi. So if you want to take these two into an account, we need to see what the codes to be suitable for the work in the Orsi. So you have the enough information at the Sophia and you want to take other means things with these or say what you have to do, we need to take what are the suitable grids for you, what are the suitable things for you has to be taken. So then what it has to do is nothing but then it will take the connect to these or say and make the course to be available with that one, and had to allocate the resources to that one to the cloud provider and make the and make it available. When coming to the third one, so that is a second one, that is a third gateways, three gateways. So here we are using Renis, Nancy and Sophia. So what it is doing, it has been providing these connection to these things. How it is going to provide is, we need to see before providing the connection, we need to see whether whether these things has been have the capability of processing on this application or not. So first we will see, whenever they have that capability of the processing the application, what it will do is they will may provide these things to be available at the same time and allow them to access the resources and the clouds also and provide the information what it is having. And what it is doing is it is taking these things to be available and the loading what you are doing will be specified here, and you don't need that what is the load of that one. So if you come to know that what it is happening or what it is doing, then you will come to know what it is doing here. In the next diagram you will have the representations like how it is going to form, how it is going to do here. So here in this diagram it is also having the one representation. We are using Nancy, Renis, Vorse, Sophia. Nancy, Renis, also Sophia has been used as a four gateways. In the last one you are having the four gateways. So here we are having the four charts here, four bar representations here. So the four bar representation, one is the teal bar, magenta bars, green bar, and the next brown bar. So what it is represented teal bar is without peering, when peering, and then accepted and redirected. So all these things will be coming to an account. When we are dealing with this thing, so the tier bars will indicate the grid has the sides load. So the sides load has been load has been indicated in this one. Means tier bar means this color now, this color. And then next magneta bar means this one. So what does magneta bar is represented here is the load what we are being requested for these others. What it has done here is has been redirected to one another. Means they has been given to one another here. Mean here it is given to this one, but they don't have the equal amount of the load also. Why? Because some may have the what it is saying. Well, it won't involve it won't evolve every system into the processing. It only evolve the systems into the processing who are suitable for that one. So that's why the load, when we are using this one, what it is doing is when peering, what it is allowing here is redirects these requests to the one another. So what these green bar is, what it is representing is what are accepting here means this one what it is specifying here is, so this corresponds to the amount of the load each gateway accepts from other gateways. So here what it is doing, peering is the low, and peering means the peering what you are representing is a high, and it is not like the load what you are choosing will be also high. So there is also low here, and here the peering and the that is a load accepted is approximately equal. So it won't decide the means what are the pairing values you are using, means how many systems or how many nodes you have been involved. It won't decide what is the workload given to that. And the next one, last one is the brown bar. So this brown bar is representing the amount of the load that is redirected. Means the result that is has been shown. What year means any balancing will be done on all these things will be shown here. So here redirected will be only less. Here the redirection has been done when compared to the others is high. So there is a slight redirection. Slight redirection means I have the data and we have been redirected to process this one like that one. So this, when you compare with that one, there is a slight increase of that one. So these are the things we need to consider when you are having the loading the results on the different gateways which are situated at the other sites. So what we are taking here, the advantage of here is we need to take other sites to be available with us when we are not having the capability of processing this one. So we are having only little amount of the systems or the little amount of the processings. What we are doing is we are making other systems to be available. How we are taking is these are all the gateways here. There is a possibility of the combining the gateways. How we are combining our gateways here? We are combining the gateways based on only the that is that is a common factor here. So what is a common factor is we need to make these things suitable to our environment here. Whenever we are finding these things to be suitable, then we are making others to be combined, and we are taking configure with these that is other sites. We are configuring all these sites to be take these workload has to be balanced, and the thing what you are representing here is the workload will be maintained not heavy, not low, because we are not taking all these things to be done on only one system. We are making available with the other systems also. So when we are comparing with the others, Renis. So the Renis, which is having the 722 site, 722 cores of information here. So which is having the heavy workload. When the cores are increased, it means there is having a heavy workload here, and also it is allowing others to get these benefits through other gateways from the peering, and also there is a possibility of the redirecting things to the other sites also. If it is not possible to take the workload to be done by the Renis, and it is having the heavy workload, what it is doing, it is allowing to take these Renis is connected to the Nancy and Sophia in 3 gateways, and then Renis also connected to the Sophia, Orse and the Nancy in 4 gateways. It may use any type of configuration to execute these things to be possible when we are dealing with this. So this one here is one example of the creating the that is a virtual template. So this is this window we are having. We have the 3 different hardware profiles. There's a small one, medium one, and then next large one. So here why we are taking this one into an account means when we are dealing with this one, we need to know what we are handling, what the system we are going to handle. So that's why we are maintaining the operating system profiles, capability profiles, application, what the applications they are choosing profiles, the servers, host profiles, means we are all connecting to the host. What the host is having, what is the host is consist of, all these things we need to maintain. That's why it is processing. To create a template, how we are going to create here is we need to click on this create virtual template here. So whenever you have been created here, so here if you see, this is the configuration that has been given by me. Means by us, representations Ubuntu 64-bit, what is the compatibility, what are the tools, and what is the given name, DNS server name. Here is a user one virtual machine. I didn't use anything because I am only creating this one. What is the memory usage is 0 byte. What is the storage capacity is the 5 GB. These all the things has been given, any attributes has been given to that one. So has been created this client one environment here. I am creating this template here, convert to template. Whenever it has been converted to template, in the previous example, you have seen one representation, that is a name, what is a root order, all these things has been, it will represent these things. And this is an example which is on the vSphere, which is used by these VMware. So that's about your virtual machine creation and its management. And we are dealing with these cloud resources also. So when we are dealing with the cloud resources, there is a possibility of making these resources with the other computer clouds also. So other computing clouds means what it has to do here is we need to maintain the brokers here. So further, we are maintaining many brokers, 1 to n brokers will be available with us. If you see this diagram, these diagrammatical representations will show you we have the different clouds here: compute cloud, storage cloud, and then next enterprise IT consumer, which is having the proxy, and then global cloud exchange. Apart from these, there are the some people are situated here, they are working on this environment. So what they are doing, they are making available this environment with us. They are interconnected with these, with that is a directory or anything. They are making these things to be available with these bank auctioners or any representations you see. So here we are, this example will show high level components of Melbourne Globes, which has been proposed this intercloud architecture. Here we won't say that one cloud is capable of processing all these things. So here we need to take single cloud infrastructures, maybe multiple, because we need to provide or we need to make these data centers to be available with them. So here for this implement, for this processing to work on a data center, we make multiple single cloud, that is multiple cloud infrastructures to be available with us. That is which can make these SaaS, all these things to be available easily. If we not using this type of representations, what it is doing is it is making all the things making unavailable. You won't have the possibility of these things to be done here. So here uh, what it is also specifying here is it is taking these things to be done in the market driven resource leasing federations, and also it is taking the client brokering or the coordination services to be available. How it is going to do here is it is taking utility driven federation of the clouds, which is making application scheduling, resource allocation, migration of the workloads, and also taking the distributed storage, computing capabilities of the clouds. All these things will be look after these brokerings. So here what these brokers or what the things will do here is they will take these systems to be available with the integration based on demand, flexibility, energy efficiency, and also you can say the reliability. Because we need to access the infrastructure which is based on the virtualization technology. So these compute clouds, storage clouds, what we are using, they are being used in the different cloud platforms here. So these are all connected to a global cloud exchange environment. If you want to access any information from the IT, so how this could be processed or how this could be done here is, so I want to access an information of a cloud here. What I have to do here is I want to access this information means I want to subscribe to this cloud. So if I want to access another cloud means I need to subscribe, means whatever the cloud data will be, what I need to do here is what the first step here is I need to subscribe to that cloud. So if not, what I will face, or what is the disadvantage here, I won't be able to access the data. So subscribing all the things, subscribing all the information, it's not the basic thing. What we need to do here, we need to make available all the clouds, because this is the proxy. There is many servers will have the has been connected here. So here what this proxy will do here is it will place the request to this broker, any broker. So they will bid for that one, negotiate or the bid for that one. So they will check for the data what it is represented, and they will have the access of the data, and they will provide the data what you are requested for that. There is no need to take care of these clouds or these things directly by these enterprise IT consumer. What they are doing, they are allowing these things to be done by the. So how it is maintaining or how it is doing here is that the many people in between of that one who are acting as an interface to providing the data between the clouds here. So there are several clouds here which are from the different providers. So when you will have the access to that one, when you are allowed to access or when you are process that one only, then you will have the access to that particular data. If you are not having the access to that particular data, what you will do, then you need to purchase or then you need to subscribe to that one. If you are not subscribing to that information, what happens there? It will do that. It won't take available these things to be done. So what the other thing here is, we need to take the informations to be available with these consumers from different clouds also. So what it has to do here is you need to take you need to maintain your environment which is the global. What is the global variable or the global it is specifying? You can access this variable or the that one from anywhere of that one. So if you are not a member or the not a, of that one of that program or that anything, what you will do, you will not be able to access that one. So likewise, what the cloud says here, the cloud won't allow you to access, because it won't make the person to be available when he has no subscription here. So for that thing, if any people want to access multiple clouds data, what they have to do is nothing but they need to take this global cloud exchange which is suitable for their environment, because Many clouds will be there, many different cloud providers will be there. They are forming the cloud exchange. They are not easily send all the data into that environment. They will form the cloud exchange based on some environment only. They won't access all the data, and they will send these environment to this cloud global cloud exchange. They will have the global cloud exchange for one environment. For other environment, they will have another cloud exchange. So you need to have the gather request or the access to that environment. Then you will be able to make this thing to be possible. Then you won't have the access to that one. Who will have the access to that one? But is you have the interface here, which is called as a brokering. So we have the end brokers to that one. To this one, what they done here is that they will make us to they will make these things to be happen, or they make available to the things to be happen and process all these things here. So who are benefiting these things here is a bank, and the next auctioneers. All these persons will have the benefits here. So why? Because here is we want to get the information of about others also, what they have to do. They have to get into the another cloud. That's why what they are doing, they are simply getting the information of that one and processing the data here. So this one has been explained previously, ma. So that's about this topic, that is the intercloud resource management. In the next class, we will see the remaining things. That's about today's class. Thank you.